I mean, okay, Mind Meld is really, really, really funny. And it's not the worst thing ever. It's better than, like, Snapvine, for example. But, unfortunately, it also can't be proper. Good old Ash Thresh. It's been a hot while since we saw that deck, huh? Ash Thresh. It's like harrowing Ash, probably. Is Kinko Elusive still viable in the meta? Yeah, it's probably a little awkward right now, but I mean, it's kind of impossible for that deck to be like terrible. Okay. He's denying the plunder. Oh, that's pretty cute. What are the odds Trail of Evidence gets me something I actually have to use? 2 cost in these colors. Could it get me something that I can only use during combat? I can't think of a single card in these 2 colors at 2 cost that would do that. I'll probably just have to, like, make it rain. If he doesn't play anything here, it's kind of slightly awkward. I'll probably do the Trail of Evidence now that he passed back to me.
What you looking for?
I mean, that can't really do 2 damage very easily, so we should be okay here. Preemptive Trail to prevent Brittle? I mean, you can use Brittle on elusive units, though. So mostly we just want to hit some kind of pilfer here, right? I think we kind of have to make it rain just to enable the plunder. We wouldn't be able to hit everything here, though. I mean, he can't really skip this attack, I think. It should be impossible. The fact that we can't actually, like, unload our hand feels really bad. Let's see what he does first. I don't think it's possible for him to skip this attack. But if we can bait him into skipping the attack, we get extra value. Fizz can't be targeted by spells if he casts a spell. Yeah, but it's burst speed. Like, you can't stop Fizz from being targeted by burst speed spells. So yeah, this feels quite good. Because now I'm unbricking the other Fizz in my hands. Okay, sweet. Forcing out Brittle Steel. Yeah, that feels really good. Fizz is kind of like Zed, where he has kind of a useless champ card. So if you can, like, sacrifice it for value and then play the second one, you feel quite good. The only problem is I don't know if I actually want to, like, use my mana this turn. I think I really don't, which feels a little bad. Like, we kind of are just burning 3 mana here. Oh, that actually does feel bad.
Smells like opportunity.
I'll happily open attack here, I think.
What do we get?
So Kempunk takes one of his cards. A Vile Feast. So we can black market Merchant now. Okay. 0 mana Omen Hawk, that feels pretty good. I think I want to Sleight of Hand later, actually. I feel like it has to be higher value doing this first. And I will play an Omen Hawk here. We'll see if he responds to this. If he's not going to use his mana, then I'm not going to do anything either. I don't know, this is a very funny deck. I'm a big fan of, like, Klepto deck. They're just fun to play, man. So now that he can't really respond, I actually feel a lot more happy taking the Sleight of Hand on this action, I think. The most important thing is he can't do anything crazy in response. It's like, he can't stop me from taking a good card. So now we have Vengeance at discount. Which feels like it could be pretty good here. Black Market Merchant.
Show me a target.
So usually this deck will be running Rekindlers for Ash is often a large part of the idea here. I don't know. I mean, keeping Fizz alive at this point of the game actually probably does matter. I could just Harsh Winds it out. We'll do Harsh Winds here. It's just kind of better. And I guess at that point we can we can throw in 1 more point of damage. I kind of would rather bank mana than do Make It Rain here, though. Make It Rain got a little bit better. It's still kind of our plunder enabler. And we have, like, a lot of plunder cards. I think we're still just chilling. I mean, we don't have an open attack unless we use a burst speed spell for open attack with Fizz. Opening with the elusive doesn't really do much. Like, if we're attacking with Fizz, we kind of want to level him up and not do anything crazy. So we've got a total of 8 here. I think I will just kind of like burst attack with Fizz. He can't freeze it. We have exactly 5 out of 6, which means if he freezes it right now, one spell will get me the +1 attack that I need to trigger both effects. But if he does something that forces a spell, like if he does Vile Feast and then he forces a spell, at that point he could potentially freeze it. Unless the spell that got forced was also fast speed. If he Vile Feasts and then I Vile Feast, then he actually can't freeze it because, or I'll make it rain instead, I guess. Now he can't freeze it because I can still attach something on top of that as well. And it's not leveled yet since it's not resolved. So if he freezes it right now, it would still level up after the freeze came through. And we get our Chum the Waters, which is honestly kind of useless, but whatever. It's kind of adorable. It's fine. So he's got 25 cards left in his deck. The cards that we are taking from him are gonna be very, very cheap. That's an 8-mana Harrowing. We have a 9-card hand, which means we can pass safely. By the way, Harrowing is sort of hilarious, but it's not actually really doing anything for us. Like, we don't have anything strong to revive. It's just, yeah, just kind of funny. That's about it. I think Fizz is really underrated. This kind of deck can use Fizz pretty well. Chum the Waters is kind of bad, TBH. It's a really bad card. But any card is kind of okay if you can get it for free. I think I like the idea of threatening the Ash. I want to potentially keep Fizz alive. If he's using a Rekindler deck, which he is, his deck should be running like 2 or 3 Rekindlers. I can actually gain more value out of like bricking those and keeping both of his champs alive. The Thresh will level, but it's leveling post-combat, so I actually think I don't mind at all. I think this looks good. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, Thresh leveling, as long as he doesn't get to attack like anytime soon off of that level, doesn't really matter. So we can't activate Plunder on this current hand, although we could find a way on Rummage. So we kick the Harrowing and the Chum. So we can no longer trigger the Plunder here. Because Ash did level, so even if we can't trigger the Plunder, we can still take his Crystal Arrow. So we've got his Crystal Arrow now. That's pretty alright. Like, this card's kind of cute. But I do wish I could have done the double draw there. Counterfeit copies Arrow. I mean, as hilarious as that is, that definitely can't be right to counterfeit copies the Arrow. As funny as that is. Listen, I'd love to counterfeit copies this Arrow, but it definitely doesn't make any sense. So what is his option? Playing Rekindler as a 4/4 is what he's thinking about here? That's gotta be rough. Yeah, I wouldn't play it either. So we're going to my turn here. I'm ready to chill a bit harder. We need, like, our Plaza Guardians to come in. Didn't we put 3 of them in this deck? 22 cards. Salvage. We can't salvage... No, we actually have a 9-card hand. We could just open salvage. I think the most important thing is kind of just seeing whether we're drawing Plaza Guardian or not. And I don't want to make it rain until after he's tapped under Rekindler. That's really important. We'll attack with Fizz here. Get in like a little sliver of damage.
The time is right.
Okay. I mean, there's no extra value we're getting. He did just discard an extra Ash in his hand. That was Ash's Flash Freeze. It feels kind of nice. Playful Trickster is sort of hilarious, except for my unit's Frostbitten. Alas. Okay. This seems fine. To be kind of honest, Fizz's attacks are sort of worthless anyway. So I think it's okay. And now, am I just coral creaturesing? This is sort of weird. I mean, I can't make it rain until he taps under Rekindler. The odds of him being out of bricked Rekindler are really high. So coral gets us a second counterfeit copies. Do I just Crystal Arrow just to try to hit a Plaza Guardian? It's like I need to use this mana. This is terrible. And he's always gonna open attack into me, right? This is like the worst Crystal Arrow I've ever seen in my life. It's pretty bad. It's just like the casual cycle Crystal Arrow. But he'll literally always open attack into me. I kind of have to just like start developing out this board. I'll Crystal Arrow here. Counterfeit copies on Warning Shot. See, at least that's a little funny. Counterfeit copies on Warning Shot. Like that's a good meme, you know? There's some spice to that. Okay, do we take more of his cards? We've already taken a lot of his cards. Do we need more of his cards? That's a card. So what the hell does the Rekindler do here? Resurrecting a Fizz sounds pretty horrible. We need to keep our slow speed options alive. We'll do this. And yeah, I mean I can't make it rain on anything. We'll do it on his attack at least. Nice counterfeit copies. It would be really, really cool if we actually had Plaza Guardian. But yeah, I mean, this is probably why counterfeit copies can't be a 3-of. I mean, he'll probably like try to go in for a pretty aggressive kill. Yeah. So, I mean, he has 2 freezes here. We're gonna need to basically hit a pretty good make it rain. I don't think we can vengeance anything else here, right? This looks pretty good. Okay, time to Hearthstone this guy? Yeah, let's just Hearthstone him here. Ooh, that's not a Hearthstone. That's not a Hearthstone at all. So he took one of his Harrowings. That deck is usually running 2 Harrowings. My Rekindler is only ever pulling Fizz. We've never even drawn a Twisted Fate this game. We have Rhymefang, and now his Rekindler is pulling Thresh. I can Coral creatures and see what we get. So he should like Rekindler for Thresh here. Or he'll just do something proactive. Because we know he has Rekindler. He's at 9. I don't know. I mean, how bad is it to Rekindler the Fizz? It kind of does absolutely nothing, but it does force out a Harsh Winds from him, which is sort of funny. So like, what the hell is our game plan here, guys? Like what are we trying to do? Copy Jettison? Copy Jettison for self-mill? It's kind of funny because it will actually sort of allow us to get into Twisted Fate. I think I actually have to Rekindler here. I will say Rekindler into the Harsh Winds matchup is really bad for Fizz. Because like Rekindling Fizz is actually kind of funny against like PNZ or Ionia, but when they're targeting his burst speed, it's kind of doing nothing. It's kind of doing super nothing. So now we need to develop more. I rummage the dog, and I think the Chumpwump. Why am I running Chumpwump in this deck? Chumpwump makes like no sense in this deck, right? I don't know. What are the odds of me wanting Jettison? Probably lower. So now it's like, I mean, without draw power, there's kind of not really big reasons to counterfeit copies Plaza Guardian. This is so bad. I mean, we've got a lot of 0 mana Plaza Guardians. The only problem is, unless we already have draw cards in our hand, like a 0 mana card isn't even a really good draw. It's only good if we can like force draw into it. I think this is pretty okay. This actually gives us a lot of options. Now jettison? Yeah, I mean... Fucking jettison, dude. I know Mystic Shots. Yeah, I mean we can do Mystic Shots here. I kind of wanted to do the Plaza Guardian, just because it's kind of like part of the idea here. But if he's at like 9 health, then yeah, I mean we can do Mystic Shots. Whoa! Wait, what? I have to Trickster, right? He can't put me on trick. Like he can't have a freeze. There's no way he could possibly have a freeze here. It's completely impossible. He could have maybe like 1 freeze. Well, I can try this. Trickster after? You can't Trickster after. You can't play this card proactively like Relentless Pursuit. That's why it's so much worse. You have to basically have like a combat going through. Okay, so he has 1 freeze. And then we full swing? Yeah, full swinging is no longer good. Alas. I mean, surviving 1 more turn against this is gonna be pretty difficult here. The problem with Fizz actually has a great body. It's just his associated cards, like this Chum the Water that he draws, as well as his like Champ Spell, are both just really bad cards. If either of those cards was a good card, Fizz would actually be like potentially a spooky champion. Like his ability and his stat line and his cost are all fine. I mean, he's got the triple Ash attack. That's gonna be a little awkward. We're not gonna be on many blockers here.
All the world on one arrow.
Whee.
Why are you here?
I mean, I can't beat like an Elixir of Iron, right? I think there's no way. Very unfortunate. Elixir is very possible for him to have, because we haven't like forced him to be in an Elixir spot in the last several turns. So I'd play around it here if I had the ability to. I guess I can Chum the Waters? I don't know. What is this card actually doing? Grant vulnerable. What am I worried he's gonna do here? Kinda nothing, right? You can fizzle this by using like Glimpse. Oh god, this is like fizzleable too. It's like I don't even get the 5/1 if they just like glimpse their unit. Jesus. Oh god, this card is so bad. Oh, I didn't even think of that. I mean, at slow speed, is there anything I'm worried about? Like, is there a downside to letting him play at slow speed? Because he doesn't get another like Ice Arrow or anything. Archer? Yeah, Archer's only 1 unit. I mean, I don't think there's really anything else, right? Ruination? I mean, I guess Ruination makes us not want to chum. I could do like Ye Been Warned. If he Ruinates, I guess you can't chum on an empty board? Oh god. Dude, this fucking card, you can't even use it on an empty board! What the hell? What on earth? Okay, we're good. Jesus Christ. Fizz is actually so close to being good. He actually really is. All 4 were on bottom. Yeah, that was really, really funny. The jettison. It didn't make it all worth it.